It's another day and another fantastic episode of this your favorite show, Ask Praise for. It's nice having you around again today. How are you doing? Did you miss me? I really missed you. Okay, thanks so much once again for your wonderful messages. I didn't know that we have actually talked to so many people in so short a time. But thank you so much because you guys keep us going for your encouragement and all that you've done. We're so grateful. I always say to people, especially the singles, many of you, we're saying praise, you need me to talk so much more about your situation. Well, I always say to people, the ultimate stage in life is singleness. You were born single, and one day you will go as a single person, okay? So singleness is not a disease, okay? It's not a disability. It's actually an ability. It actually means that you are unique, you are focused, and you are whole. So don't be in a hurry to give yourself away because you are actually a gift, okay? And you need to give yourself away when you're ready to someone that will treasure you, not someone that will tolerate you. Okay, on the note, we go to the questions we have today. If you're just joining us, if it's your first time, you know what we do on this show. It's a show where you ask me about singleness, marital matters, and, parental issues. Okay, today we're going to be starting with a question that we got from Joan. Joan is sending this from Jos. I praise. Is it bad to eat a man's money and run away, especially when he's old enough to be your father and you don't want to be a runs girl? There's this man that has been spending a lot of money on me and I've been collecting it but never gone down with him. Now he's asking me for a trip out of town. I'm struggling to tell him no, but I know I won't be able to say no to sex if I follow him. Please kindly assist me. Okay, Joanne, when you were spending the money alone, did you call me? That was a joke, really. But I don't see a problem with the man here. Okay, the problem I see is you. When I was younger, my father used to tell me that whatever I cannot provide for you, don't spend it. Okay, and he said that's one of the surest way out of temptation. So he taught me contentment. I do not know your state, but if I look at you today and I give you ₦1 million, the responsible question to ask is, for what? What service have I rendered to have deserved ₦1 million? But what many of us do is we take it as a woof in my country, and they say a woof, they run belly. Okay, you just take it. If a man begins to give you money, you need to ask him, is this how you give everyone this money? Okay, if a man buys you a car, you need to ask him, how many other persons have you bought a car? Because it's not a philanthropist. It's not, what exactly does he want? But you've been eating his money according to you, and you are saying you don't want to be a runs girl. Then how do we classify what you have been doing? How do we classify your profession? Okay, maybe it's favored girl or something, right? Or how do we classify this? It's quite a funny case. But what I need you to do is this. I think you need to stop. Someone said that the best time to plant a tree was 35 years ago. The next best time is now. It means you have gotten yourself involved in what you're not proud of and what you can't defend, in what you know deep down is wrong. And now the man has made enough deposit and it's now for him to make withdrawal and you're trying to run away. Which, if you look at it from the angle of fairness and equity, you would say it's not fair. Why don't you want to go out with him? But on a more moral side of things and the balanced side of things, I do not think you need to go out with this man. Because number one, you did not ask him for this money. He knows he's old enough to be your father. Why is he pursuing you? What exactly does he want from you? Okay, so it's very simple. Can you tell him to call your father to ask for permission to go out with you or something? Now, he's going to respond to you to say, when you were chopping my money, were you telling your father? Okay, maybe it might actually be a good time to report to your father that you have a man who has been your philanthropist, okay, or helper of your destiny, like they call it in some places, okay. But I think you need to stop this. You don't want to do the thing, so don't collect the money. because that money is not pure. Okay, you didn't render any service, you didn't do anything. This man just picks an interest in you and he keeps spending on you. So you need to stop it. Okay, it is not every gift you should receive. I need to say this again. It is not every gift you need to receive. And when the gift is coming with a string attached, you might do that person a good deal by rejecting or declining that gift. Okay, the moment you started eating his money, you said it yourself. That was the word you used. You were eating his money. What were you expecting? Were you expecting him to pray for you or bless you? What exactly were you expecting? So you knew what was coming. Okay, but you kept eating the money. Well, maybe we'll put it this way, that is your luck, that I hope it doesn't come after you. Okay, but I would really, really need you to stop. Maybe you need to talk to this man and apologize for eating his money. If in case he wants a refund, maybe you need to find a way to refund the money so that at least you can satisfy your conscience that you've done the right thing. But I think you need to stop this lie. There are other ways of making money than chopping a man's money or trying to turn yourself into a type of runs girl, because you are misrepresenting yourself, you are misrepresenting your values, you are misrepresenting your family. The man came close because he felt every other girl is like you, and you are dancing to that and behaving like every other girl. So I think you need to ask yourself, what exactly is most important to me? Who do I want to be? If you don't want to be a runs girl, then stop acting like one and stop collecting what runs girls collect. There's dignity in every labor. The Proverbs of Solomon, it says, it is better to get your hands dirty and eat than to be too proud to work and starve. Many of you want to carry the kind of bag that it took other people 10 years to work hard to earn the kind of money that bought those kind of bags. Okay, why would you want to compare yourself with your friends? You don't know what they're doing. So why don't you get a job? I don't know if you're a student, but get a job. Get a job, okay? Work hard. Develop a skill. Exchange your skill for money, and you can live the life you want to live. I don't think you should go with him, because your parents will think you are in school or something, but you'll be going for a trip with a man that you hardly know. What if he's a ritualist or something? So I think you should stop this. Call this man, tell him you can't go with him, apologize for the money you have chopped, in quotes, or eaten, and if you can do a refund, please do a refund. But I mean, start a new life from today. Thank you for your mail. We have a second question from Kumbi. Kumbi from Lagos. Kumbi is saying, dear Praise, please, how do I teach my child about sex without getting him exposed unnecessarily? Because he comes home and tells me about his friends trying to touch his private parts, and I'm confused about what to do. The other day he asked me for the meaning of sex, and I was tongue-tied. The boy is 8, and I hope he doesn't kill me with all his questions. Kumbi, calm down. That's the first thing you need to do. The quality of answers people ask should determine the quality of questions people ask should determine the quality of answers they get. If your child is already asking about sex, it means your child is already aware and getting information from his environment about sex. Would you rather teach your child age-appropriate sexuality education, or you would want the society or the media to teach your child? There are two types of parenting. You have the biological parents and you have the media parents. The media parents don't just teach theory, they teach practical. The biological parents should take up responsibilities by teaching a child what is right. There is what we call age-appropriate sexuality education. As a matter of fact, I think you are coming way too late, because in Nigeria, having gone through about 13 states, we sadly found more 6-year-olds who were sexually active. And you heard me right, a lot of 6-year-olds. In the last 2 years, I probably spent more time in therapy with 8, 7-year-olds who are addicted to pornography and even shooting their own porn. Okay, so you don't want to take chances. Okay, there is how to teach age-appropriate sexuality education. The problem is when parents hear about sexuality education, they think somebody you want to teach them how to make love or something. That's not sexual education. Sexual education is about a total awareness about who you are, about your body, about what makes you you and what makes you unique, and the power of choices. That's what sexual education is all about. And there is age-appropriate sexuality education. If you make a request for, we have a kit actually that solves this problem, which has helped a lot of families in Nigeria, in Africa, and in about 3-4 continents there, about where people use this material. It covers what to teach your child about sex, from 18 months to 18 years. Okay, I'll try and lead you into some of these things today. If we don't finish it today, we'll try and continue it next week, because the fact that you're asking means that you really need to know. And a time will come, we'll bring children actually on this show and we'll teach them practically so that you can know what to teach. But it will pay you if you get the material. It's called Basic Sexuality Education Kit. Okay, it covers what to teach from 18 months to 18 years. And I think it will help you. But something that worries me in your question is your child's coming to report that his mates are trying to touch his private part. And I'm asking myself, what have you done about this? Because a lot of parents are negligent. A child comes to report a matter and you do nothing about it. The fact that that touch is taking place in the school means that something is wrong with the school system or with the child protection system of that school. And I think you need to go to the school to find out exactly what is happening. Where are these children getting this information from? It's not impossible that there's a child in the school who is hooked on pornography and is bringing that influence to school. Okay, so you might want to go back to school or go to PTA and escalate this. Don't keep quiet about it. Escalate it, because we need to know how many other children are being molested in that school. Now, what do you teach a child about sexuality education? I'll be answering this when I come back from this short break. It is still your show, Ask, Praise, Forward. I'll be right back. Welcome back. It's still your show, Ask Praise. And we've been trying to respond to Kombi's question about what do you teach a child about sex. Okay. And before we went on break, I was trying to say that the moment your child comes to complain about something that you think is inappropriate, or your child sings a song that you never taught him at home, coming back from school, you might want to go back to school to find out exactly what is going on. Okay, so what do you teach a child about sex? I will just summarize, because I can't go into details. This is like a 9-hour course that you want me to do in a 30-minute show. Now, sexual education starts at 18 months. There's what to teach about sex from 18 months to 18 years. And this is broken down into about 5 modules, starting with 18 months to 3 years. Now, that's the first age that you tackle. Now, at that age, your child has a low attention span. So you can't teach so much of instructions. You deploy songs and games and role plays to teach your child, and stories to teach him about sex. So at that age, you use songs to teach sexual education. So there are songs that you find in our kit. One of the songs says, "My body is my friend, and is the house that I live. It has 2 different parts called private and public. I will do just everything to protect my body, 'cause I love my body and my body loves me." Now with that song, you've taught your child that the body is a friend, is a house that it lives, it's got 2 parts called private and public. Now with that, you have opened up the next phase of teaching to say that the body contains 2 parts, private and public. Right. Now, the next thing you want to do is to teach your child the public parts of the body. And there's a song that can help you do that. So you teach your child, "I have my hair, it's my public part. I have my eyes, I use it to see. My nose, my mouth, and my legs, hands, and hair. They all make up my public part." So you teach your children that the public parts are parts of the body that nobody should see, nobody should touch, nobody should feel. So you have my hair, my eyes, my legs, my hands, my mouth, and my hair. Those are my public parts. Then you go ahead and teach your children about the private parts of the body. When you're teaching the private part, you need to pronounce the proper names for the private part. Penis is penis. Vagina is vagina. Penis is not kokoro, it's not jumbo jumbo, it's not kenya, it's not wee wee, it's not pee pee, it's not that. So that when your child wants to report, your child can report accurately. I mean, I remember an experience I had of a mother who came to tell me a story after I did a presentation somewhere. And she said to me that her son, when she was 5, her uncle began to molest her sexually. But she didn't know what penis was, so she ran to her mother to say, Mommy, uncle was inserting his nail in a bum bum. And her mom did not say anything, she just laughed about it. And she said for 9 years thereabout, her uncle molested her. So you need to teach your children to pronounce the proper names. And when your child comes to lodge a complaint, please believe your child. So you teach the private parts of the body to say, my laps and lips are my private part. My breast and bum bum are my private parts. Vagina for girls and the penis for boys. They all make up my private parts. Now, what you need to say to your child is this. The private parts of the body are parts that is meant for you. People are not supposed to touch it. No one is permitted to play with your private part. If anyone tries to play with your private part, what you need to do is report to your parents. Okay? You need to drum this home. Then you teach your children what to do to the private part. What do you do to your private part? I will police and protect private part. He belongs to me and must be secured. I will tell my daddy if you try to touch. What do you do to your private part? I will police and cover private part. Now, along this line, there's what to teach from January to December of every year for ages 18 months to 3 years. For the ones who are less than 2, you might need to teach a lot of songs, let them sing the song and dance. But as they grow older, you need to teach them the stories. There's a story of Konko and Skonto. Because stories drive home the message faster. Now, so that is for ages 18 months to 3 years. Now, for ages 3 to 5, we call that, remember that I just summarized, okay? For ages 3 to 5, you teach what we call curiosity and eye, because that's the age where children are asking a lot of questions. The boys are asking, where do children come from? They're asking, Mommy, why am I tall? Why are you short? The girls are asking, Mommy, how come you have breasts? How come I don't have? If a child is asking, then the child needs answers, okay? So don't shout to the child and shout them down. And don't lie to the child, okay? Don't tell a child that an angel brought down the baby from heaven. No, there are ways to answer these questions, okay? Because the age that is sexually active, I told you before, in Nigeria and some parts of Africa is actually age 6 and 7. So we are actually in a state of emergency. So from ages 3 to 5, you teach a child things like the concept of respect. You say to them, it's also a song, which I can't go into because of time. But you teach R as reach out to help me. E, encourage me. S, save me from danger. P is paint me well. He, elevate me. C, celebrate me. And T is treat me right. Now I'll go on a short break. When I come back, I will repeat that and I'll slow it down a little bit so that you can maximize this opportunity to know what to teach your child about his sexuality. Okay, it's still your show, Ask Praise Forward. I'll be right back. Welcome back, and I hope you're still having a nice time with us on this show. So, I was teaching you about respect before we went on break. The concept of respect is also a song, and it has a lot of games. It's got a lot of role plays in it that I can't teach in this forum. But you can get the kit that teaches everything explicitly. Okay? Now, so R stands for reach out to help me. You teach a child to reach out to help. E stands for R-E-S-P-E-C-T, okay? E stands for encourage me. You teach a child how to encourage. S stands for save me from danger. You need to expose your children to the dangerous situations that they must avoid. Okay? P stands for paint me well. You need to teach your children to speak well of people. Okay? E stands for elevate me. Okay? That when you raise people up, you go down with them, but when you pull them down, you're going down with them. But when you raise them up, you go up. Okay? C, celebrate me. Then T is treat me right. That's R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Now, you need to understand that as a school, if you're a school owner, this can be taught as a curriculum. If you contact us, we can help you implement it. If you're a religious leader, it can be taught in a mosque or in a church as a curriculum as well. There's how to go about this. Now, the most important thing you want to teach a child at this age is what we call the 4 golden rules of the body. and fire on the mountain. Now, rule number 1 says, my body belongs to me and also belongs to God. That's rule number 1. That my body belongs to me as a child, and it also belongs to God. It doesn't belong to uncle. It doesn't belong to someone outside, because unknown to many of us, the strength of the predator is the ignorance of a child. The predator knows that you will not teach your child anything about his sexuality. So they they prey on a child and they mess up the child. Okay? So you need to teach them rule number 1, my body belongs to me and also belongs to God. Rule number 2, I must report to my dad and mommy whatever happens to me. I must report to my dad and mommy whatever happens to me. With that rule, you are teaching your child to report everything that happens. And trust me, when you teach them this, they will report literally everything, including what is non-sexual. And it's better for a child to talk than for a child to keep quiet. Okay? Rule 3 says, I have a right to say no to whatever I feel is wrong. A child has got a right to say no to whatever I feel is wrong. Okay? A little touch in there and there, a touch on their private part, they have a right to say no. Okay? So you teach your children to watch their private parts by themselves. Okay? So that in case someone wants to molest them or fingers them, they can say no. Right? Then rule 4. Anybody that says I should not talk wants to destroy my future. Okay, you need to drum this into your children's ears, that anybody that says they should not talk, because predators usually will tell a child, don't talk, keep quiet, your father must not hear this. If your father hears, they're going to die. You need to teach your child about this ahead of time, so that when the predator comes calling, your child is adequately prepared. Then the next thing you teach there is fire on the mountain, which is bad movies, bad pictures, bad song, bad friends. There's fire on the mountain. So run and run and run away. There's fire on the mountain. Okay, that bad movies. And you see, when you're teaching your children this, you must ensure that you don't watch this. You can't tell a child don't watch pornography when you do pornography yourself. In fact, you have lost the right to correct that child. And please, may I warn parents that if your child is within this age range and your child is already watching cartoons on the internet, it will be wrong of you not to have a software that is installed that can arrest or block pornography. Okay, maybe softwares like Covenant Eyes that can block, because a lot of children are hooked on pornography simply because they went online to watch cartoon and pop-up shows up and messes up the sanity of the child. So bad movies, bad pictures, bad song, bad friends, that's fire on the mountain. What a child needs to do is run and run and run and run away. Now, that's fire on the mountain. Now, there's one to teach from January to December for this age range, which you can also get into. But I hope you have learned something from this that I've been teaching so far. Now, from ages 5 to 8 or 6 to 8, those ones are the bigger boys. At that age, they want to be independent. They want to do things on their own. So you need to understand that forcing them to do things will not work. You need to deploy superior arguments and superior intelligence and make them see reasons why they need to do something by deploying rapport. We say in the presence of rapport, everything is possible. So at that age, you teach a child about me and my identity. Who is a child? A child is a star. A child is a leader. Not a leader of the future, is a leader for the now. A child is a leader. A child is a star. A child is a king. Okay, the girls are queens. You need to teach them and help them understand the dynamics of functioning in these roles and identity. At this age, you teach your child, me and my friend. Who is a good friend? Who is a bad friend? Okay, you need to spell it out. Because the thing, sometimes a good friend, they call it someone who plays with their private part. And please, for this age range, when your child goes to play, okay, and it says, Mommy, I've gone to play, you need to find out the kind of play they have played. Because in their world right now, play is no longer play. Play can actually be sexual interaction, right? So you teach your child, me and my friends, me and my identity, me and my values. That is the age where you help your child craft his values. But trust me, if you don't have values as parents, how do you help your kids craft their own values? I'll go on a short break as you think about what I've just said. I'll be right back. Welcome back. I hope you're still enjoying the show. It is still Ask Praise, and we're dealing with how to teach your children about sexuality education. Now, so I stopped at my values and high. If you don't have personal values that drive you as a parent, you've lost the right to actually teach your children about values, because children learn from what they see you do, not what you say. So what are your values exactly as a parent? Are you the kind of parent who says, do as I say, don't do as I do? So you drink yourself to stupor and you don't expect your child to be drunk. Hey, you're kidding me. So you help your children craft their values based on the future they want to see. Now, so you teach your children my values and I, my friends and I. Then you teach your children the lies of the predator at this age. The predator says to a child, you will die. Your father will die. Your mother will die. They wouldn't believe you. I won't play with you again. You need to teach your children ahead of time, because these are the words that predators use. And please, predators are not strangers. Predators are people you know so well. They're uncles, aunties, teachers. We've had lots of cases of teachers molesting, religious leaders molesting, uncles molesting, even fathers molesting their children. Right. So you teach this for this age range. Now, the next age range is ages 9 to 12. We call that life is good. Those ones are actually hooked, or a lot of them are hooked on pornography in Nigeria today. There's hardly someone within this age range that if you surf through their phone, that you won't see a bit of a bit of pornography. They talk about same sex a lot in Nigeria and Africa as we have it today, that age range. They are so curious. They speak in codes, so they can actually sell you without you knowing as a parent. So we say to parents, you need to ask for admission and permission to get into their world for you to understand how they do things. But what do you teach? The truth is this: if you have been teaching sex education, sexual education from 18 months, this age range shouldn't be a problem to you. So what do you teach? You teach puberty and self-esteem at this age. The only thing your mother taught you as a woman was that now you don't start to demonstrate, or you started menstruating. If a man touches you, you will get pregnant. That is no longer sufficient for the 21st century child, because they know you're lying. So you want to teach them properly the biological process of menstruation, puberty, the physiological changes in their body, and the emotional climate that they go through. Now, you teach them what we call sex myths and lies. One of the myths says accumulation of sperm can cause backache. You need to say to your child that it is laziness and lack of exercise that is responsible for backache. They said to the girls that if you don't have sex now, it will be more painful later. It's more painful whichever way you want to do it. They said to the girls that guys tell them, how do I buy a product I have not tested? I mean, I hear that all the time. And I think we've handled something like that on our previous episodes. But you need to tell your child needs to respond that brand new products don't need testing because it comes with warranty. This is the age where they do friends with benefits. This is the age where they do all kinds of things. A lot of fokarama in the boarding houses. Fokarama is where the boys are sodomized by senior boys. The girls are lured into lesbianism and what have you. So it's the age where you need to befriend your child. You need to become your child's best friend. Okay, so you teach them about self-esteem. To say there are 3 manifestations of low self-esteem. You have the loser, you have the bully, and you have the conformist. Okay, so the bully is someone who manifests superiority complex, which is actually a manifestation of inferiority complex. Okay, you have the conformist who just believes that it needs to ensure success consistently for him to retain his identity. Then you have the loser who feels his life is wired around someone else. These are manifestations of low self-esteem. So you need to teach your children affirmations when they wake up in the morning, and you are the one that needs to do this for them. Tell them how good looking they are. Tell them who they are, how wonderful, powerful, fearfully and wonderfully made. Let them know that they are valuable. When your children do what is wrong, don't separate facts actually from opinion. Don't just turn it into something and exaggerate what they have done. So your daughter is talking to a boy How does that translate to calling her a prostitute? How does that translate to pregnancy? Maybe they're just platonic friendship, but because you are shooting an horror movie in your mind, as you think in your heart, so are you. And most of the times, who we are is what we project. So you're looking at your child, you're thinking about your own childhood, and you are wondering, will my child turn out like me? Because you also heard what happened from your parents. So instead of sitting down to teach your child, you now begin to accuse them of what they have not done. Unfortunately, what happens is self-fulfilling prophecy kicks into place, which means what you fear the most comes upon you. Okay, so what you need to do is to sit your child down and teach them what you need to teach them properly. The next thing you want to teach your child is what we call undressing sex, which I can't go into today because of our time, but I promise you that's where I will start from in our next episode. Okay, that's where we define sex, we define all the reproductive parts of the body. I hope you have learned something today. Trust me, we say it, and Frederick Douglass was the first person that made that statement, that it is better to build a child than to be trying to repair an adult. A lot of adults are dysfunctional today because the adults in their own childhood refuse to take responsibilities for them. You need to take responsibility for your own child. And thank you so much, Kumbi, for raising this question and sending it to us. We will continue this next week. Till then, keep loving and keep living. I honor you. Bye-bye.